Hi there, I'm Wo, mixing engineer. Have you been looking around for new EQs to try out and you've seen the NSEQ-2 by Plugin Alliance? Then this is the video for you. I'm going over all the functions, what it's designed to do, how the hardware unit looks, and how to practically use it in your mixes. Let's get started right away. So what is the NSEQ-2? It's a fancy looking black unit and it's built to be a mastering grade transparent equalizer. The transparency comes from its minimal signal path design. There are no transformers in the hardware unit, so the sound doesn't get colored or doesn't get pushed in levels in any way, so it's a really clean signal path. Talking of signal paths, there are two to choose from, so this unit actually is two EQs in one. The first signal path is a Class A fat signal path. Number 2 is a Class A vacuum signal path. In terms of sound, the fat sounds a bit more precise and the vacuum sounds a bit warmer, but to be honest, the differences are really small. Taking a look at the plugin itself. Moving from left to right, we have 4 EQ bands, a middle segment with gain range twin topology, and the right segment is the same as the left for the right channel or the side channel. Taking a closer look, the first knob is a range selection tool for the low band. The low band can be switched between a shelf or a bell. When the light is turned on, it's a shelf. When it's turned off, it's a bell curve. The knob below is a big gain range knob, which goes from -20 to +20 decibels. The knob up here, those 4 knobs, are the in knobs. I will get to that in a minute. Moving on to the second band, this ranges from 20 Hz to 220 Hz. And it has a ×10 button, so you can turn it into 2000 up to 22,000. There's a Q factor ranging from 0.4 to 4.0, meaning narrow or broader. Again, a gain knob from -20 to +20. The third band is also a true parametric band, ranging from 250 Hz to 2.5 kHz. Again, there is a ×10 button here, turning it into a 2500 to 25,000 band, and the Q with 4.0 to 0.4 and a gain range. The higher band, number 4, is the same as the lowest band. You can select your frequency range, a high shelf when it's turned on, and a bell curve when it's turned off, and a gain range. On the right, we have exactly the same low band, first parametric EQ, second parametric EQ, and the high band. Going back to the in knobs, you can select which bands you want to have turned on or off. I've tested if this does anything to the sound, if you turn it either on or off. I tested this through a null test. A null test is just to see if two signals are exactly the same when you flip polarity. In this case, I was kind of surprised when I turned all 4 bands off. The signal does not null perfectly. It doesn't actually null at all. The only way I could get it to null is to select this in knob up here. But when listening, I couldn't hear any difference in sound, in coloration, or in volume. But if you have a heavily limited signal or one that's already been crushed quite a bit, you might run into problems. But now at least you know this can happen. Turning back on all the bands, we go to the real deal, the real power of this plugin and the hardware, and it's the twin topology. Twin topology just says it's either this signal path, which I talked about in the beginning, or this signal path. Turning it off with the lights off is, you can read it here, the vacuum style. Turning it on, you go to the JFET style. As I said, there is quite a minimal difference between these, but when I'm listening, critically listening, I think that the JFET style sounds a bit more precise, and it's good for digital music, more the EDM stuff that I'm personally mixing and mastering a lot. The vacuum sounds a bit smoother and warmer, more suited for acoustic type music. Below that, we have a gain range. Pay close attention to this one. If it's lit up, your gain range isn't -20 to +20, but -10 to +10. These are far more reasonable cuts and boosts because -20 and +20 is quite a lot and you can easily overdo it, especially when you're mastering. Then we have a mid-side button. This turns the left channel into the mid and the right channel into the sides. This wasn't included in the original hardware unit, but is included on the plugin, which is a really nice bonus and feature over the hardware unit. The link is linking the left and the right channel or the mid and the side channel. Lastly, really lastly, on the right side we have an on-off button and a very small trim knob. That's personally something I don't like in the Brainworx plugins. The trim knob is really small, but that's a personal thing. Concluding, the NSEQ-2 is a brilliant mastering EQ, which you have to purposefully choose to get the desired results. Will it appear on my 2 channel? I don't think it will be there very often because I mix electronic genres and I feel that this EQ mostly shines on acoustically recorded materials. This was my overview of the NSEQ-2 and I hope you found this informing, and if you want me to check out one other EQ and you want to learn more about it, please let me know and I will make a video on it. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one.